stopped at a metal detector.
Yeah.
Where are we? Come on, Twitch, work with me.
And that's what I'm saying.
Fuck.
Oh, it does look like three handsome faces here as we're waiting for the fourth one to make it through customs. That bag's extra heavy with 40 extra pounds toting it through and taking selfies the whole way. But, you know, that's how we do it because we make them say, you make them say, we make them say, Corona, nah. And that's how we're going to do it. Cough, laugh through it with my brothers, the Conspiracy Horsemen. Hopefully we're four strong here back at twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen, hackerhamin.podbean.com, russosbrand.com. Wherever you're hearing the truth, it's time to cut through the bullshit. Corey Feldman, Alex Jones, and the coronavirus here on your Conspiracy Horsemen. YOLO! Good evening, good evening. Good to see us, good to see us. I'm sure we'll be, oh, there he is. Looks like he made it. He made it through customs just in time to catch the flight. All the titles, who knows what he's defending next, but we're back here defending, I don't know, sanity at this fucking point because they lost their big impeachment and they switched gears to do fear porn to make you talk about something else. And here's where we are in a very big week where a lot of people got to eat a shit sandwich, and we're going to talk all about it tonight. And it's not us, because we've been telling you, and it's probably not you either, because you're on the right side of thought, of free thought. So take it away, Steve Areno. Good to have you back, man.
Well, it's good to be here. I missed everybody last week. Man, what a difference a week can make, right?
Yeah.
What a difference. Yeah. I'm just happy that we're not running 4 or 5 wars around the world. I'm glad that Australia has finally put the fires out. I'm glad that we've caught the people that did 9/11.
Yeah.
And now we can move on to the coronavirus. And I'm glad that Corey Feldman's internet connection seems to be top notch.
It's good. I heard actually coming in just a minute ago, they found the Malaysian Airlines too. So we can scratch that off the list, you guys. They found
Tremendous.
They found it all. Yeah, what a difference a week does make, where everyone a week ago was, now we're going full speed ahead, and now it's corporate culture to react just as like to show where you are in the whole scheme of things, you know, and shutting down NBA, shutting down March Madness, shutting down E3, EC3. His whole EC3's push is done because of the coronavirus, you know, and whatever else is going on, man. But GGP, you better double disinfect those titles with that special Lysol wipes you had there that is, you know, coronavirus deadly. So you've got the actual solution in your own home, so you're immune, bro.
Listen, let me explain a couple of things to everybody out there so they can fully understand. Number one, this coronavirus is nothing more than a scare tactic. Is it real? Yes. But is it as grand a scale as everyone's saying it's supposed to be? No. Number two, the belts are already disinfected because I washed them down with the tears of the opponents that I beat to get them with. So we're all good to go. We're ready to rock and roll. Kaboom. Look who stepped in the room.
It's a cow.
So, you know, it's we're heading in strong tonight, boys. I'm in a mood to listen to Wu-Tang all day. Nice. That Logic Wu-Tang song, I've heard it about 20 times today. Let's rock and roll.
It's phenomenal. It's been out for a minute, man, but shout out to Logic for putting that shit together. That was back to the Hot 97 mentality. I always love Wu Wednesday putting out a couple of obscure tracks. And, you know, look at this clean shaven, handsome, ready to carry the backyard title all the way to the top of the roof where it needs to be defended. Smiling, styling, profiling, wiling, 666 ready to catch a fix in here tonight of the Conspiracy Horseman. Big Sal Allah, our local giant. Good to see you, buddy.
What is happening, gentlemen? The end of the world is here. We're here to herald it. We're here to hold the doors open.
Yeah, man.
I want to put my bet in right now, and I want to say 2,500 will be the cap for deaths.
2,500. That's it right there. That's
then
it.
done.
That's just for the country or the world, because we're already at 4,800 supposedly.
No, for us.
Oh,
I'm going to give it 2,500 and call it a day.
Stevie,
Because it's barely 3%.
Stevie, what are you going for a number? What are you going for a number?
they seem to like the nice round number of 3,000
3,000?
since September 11th. So let's go with 3,000.
Uh,
Maybe this might be the one where we hit the 5 digits. It might be an even 10,000.
Okay.
No.
Sounds like a big number.
That's big.
Yeah, I'm going to go no, man. It's going to be low. Today we got our so again, I started a new job and we got our confidential surveys today and asking if we have strong internet at home.
Now that's confidential.
Confidential. And we're come to find out, do you have strong internet connections at home? Do you have a place you could work at home? And I'm like, oh, here we go. Apparently my wife, everybody's calling out at her job and people are telecommunicating. What is it? Telecommuting. All kinds of shit. The girl at work was crying today, and I get so twitchy at work because they start talking about things we're not allowed to talk about anything. You can't bring anything up without offending everyone. And she started crying, saying she was really scared, and that the president was going to really screw things up for us because his grandfather died of the flu, and he won't even admit that because he said no one's ever died from the flu. And in my head, I hear him say it. It makes me laugh. And then she's like, and now I took my kids out of school today. My kids are with my mom today. And she started to cry. And all I wanted to do was just open up and just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And I can't. I got to sit there and just keep my head down and smile and go, yeah, I feel for you. Fuck. I hope it hits you first. I just want you gone.
Oh, man. I mean, it is Darwinism, the strong will survive, what have you. But 2,500, Stevie says 3,000.
3,000 what?
3,000 American deaths. What are you going to take for coronavirus death poll?
Do 3,300, buddy.
10.
10. Well, I think we may be past that, but 10.
I don't think they're dead.
Oh, all right.
I just think cases.
Okay. Well,
one person died of the coronavirus in an old age home in Seattle. That's it. Everybody else has cases of them.
Okay.
And here in New York, they have the Coast Guard over there in Westchester area because it's supposed to be like 100 cases in the secluded area. They shut down the whole area.
So what's your number? What are you taking? We got 2,500. 10. Damn it! He stole my thunder. I was gonna go. Price is Right. $1. That's what I'm gonna take. So we'll no, I think we'll be right around 33, maybe a third. Maybe a third of that. But yeah, dude, we'll see what's the real and what isn't. And if it's flu, it's gonna be knocking off old people and shit like that.
And I just don't believe that nobody picked 5 except Bundy.
Oh, 5 Bundy. Nice $5 face slap.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for Biden to quote the numbers like he did gun deaths, where he said 480 million people died of gun death.
Or the other one, the other one you just sent us. What do you think about that? I can't believe Bernie and Trump. Who said that? Who said anything? Like he didn't know what he thought he was giving a phone number.
Yeah.
He had no idea what they were asking him. 4 million.
Yeah.
So I want to give some real quick here because this is the scary part that people you just talked about the person at work and the telecommuting and that could lead to some positive stuff, but they're starting to lay people off already. So like they're telling you can't come to work and then they're taking your job from you. Like there's got to be some sort of, I'm not for government intervention or social programs like that, but tonight Trump is speaking at 9:00. So I'm hoping they're going to pass some sort of stimulus bill to keep people who are they're laying people off in restaurants, bakeries, hotels, all sorts of stuff that's going to suffer from lack of travel.
Mm-hmm. How are you going to get your fix?
What's that?
How are you going to get your fix now at the bakery?
Yeah.
Me?
Yes.
Well, the Triple D, I must have a new girlfriend or something with or without coronavirus, so he can't be bothered.
Yeah, I see Triple D's in the chat room right now. Just cheered 1,000 bits. Appreciate that. Our boy Brandon.
Oh, she must be taking a shower or something because he could talk to us and hang out with us.
Chubby Pop Chaser. That's a new name in there. I'm not sure.
That's a good guy. That's a That's the guy who gave me the Pocky chip. That motherfucker.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. He said he would supply you guys with all of them if you chose to.
That suckhole Justin French is in there, lone nutcase.
Oh, French connection.
We.
Reverend Smiley and Nick Meadow in there.
Smiley in a while.
Yeah, the more. All you guys appreciate it.
Hey, I reached out to Dr. Shiva Ayudarai, I guess, the MIT PhD doctor.
Shiva.
Shiva. SHIVA.
Weird.
Kalima Shakti Day.
Yeah.
He's the one who says that the coronavirus is the article that Stevie sent over in the chat that
it's bunk.
Has debunked it. So I invited him to come on the show. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Puppy cook.
You thought, we got rid of plastic bags, we got rid of straws, that all this shit would be solved.
Oh my God, that's so goddamn annoying, dude. Like literally, considering when I walk into Stop and Shop, it's like I'm walking into Cheers. They know me in there.
Yeah.
So I'm always in there because my boys are eating me out of house and home. But now I got to walk in with fucking bags like a goddamn bag lady. It's like, this is what I went to school for. This is what I took bumps for. So I could walk around like some homeless, homeless chick with some used bags. Really? Come on, man.
That's your gimmick now,
You went
bro.
to wrestling school and started becoming a professional wrestler, so you didn't have to walk into a supermarket with bags.
Exactly.
That was your goal?
That was my goal. Yeah, that and going back to the Sportatorium, Dave JFK.
Well, you failed at your goal. That's what your nightmares become a reality.
But here, listen to this stupid lefty logic. We need to save the environment, so we got to stop plastic bags. Okay, when we were children, they stopped using paper bags and implemented the plastic because the trees were being killed, and all the tree-hugging hippies were throwing a fit back then that were killing the trees, and we're going to ruin the planet. So what's worse, the fact that we went back to paper bags, or the fact that 99.9% of all the products in the supermarkets are made of plastic? But that doesn't count. It's the plastic bags and the plastic straws that's going to kill the turtles and harm the environment. Sure, guy. Look, I'm doing a satanic.
Wait a minute. Hey.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
There are 3 fingers on each side. It's 33. Holy shit! It means something.
Actually, okay, it's that's the new racist symbol, isn't it? Isn't it like white supremacist thing now?
Sure, and it's 666 or something or whatever the fuck.
I remember when it was just okay.
So everything's shut
you know what?
down.
We're being very rude. We're being
very
because Stevie, how many kids died in your basement?
33.
Oh, they're immune. I they got McDonald's and Burger
Because you killed them once they hit like 19. It's like Menudo, right?
I don't.
You keep replacing them. Dr. Jones, cover your heart. Hey, all 4 of us, we're immune to the coronavirus. You know why? Because we actually use the old bathrooms in the ECW arena. So nothing's gonna kill us. We're good.
No, you're good.
I travel with Balls Mahoney. I could probably lick an AIDS spoon and be okay.
You might already be dead and not even know it. That's really it.
Well, he did die 4 or 5 times, right? Son keeps rejuvenating.
That is true.
Yeah.
Reviving him. He's like they steal Stevie's gimmick: kill, revive, repeat.
Shoot, revive.
Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about the sporting events and
that's what I was going to say. We'll get into because we do
going
have
back and forth with Luke Hawks from Wildcat Sports about this, but they're canceling everything, or even worse than that, which I don't understand. It's okay for the athletes to perform or the wrestlers or whatever, but the fans don't have to be there. Like the guys and the girls are sweating all over each other, could contract it even easier. There could be blood transfer or whatever. And
hey,
that's okay.
Hey, pal.
That's okay.
That's death clause, pal. You sign the contract. That's what happens to you, pal.
I don't see.
There'll be a little extra something in the paycheck if they get some color.
I'm just saying in general, they're trying to say they care about the basketball players or the college kids that don't get paid anything.
It's modern slavery.
They're still going to play, but they're going to play in front of no people.
Empty arena match, yeah.
Oh, so it'll be like the WNBA.
Wow. Boom. Well, I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, for them, it's dollars and cents. So the advertising dollars are going to outweigh the cost of what the local arena owners and investors are going to make back. So it's a fuck them proposition.
I don't know about that. The Lakers, their ticket sales per game, including concessions and everything, they quoted between $10 to $15 million a game.
Wow.
It's quite a bit of money because that that takes into account for that and all. Let's not forget about football, because this thing still might be going on. The XFL's still playing. There's all these things that could be completely bankrupt in a way, or what they're going to do is pass the loss along to the players next year with the salary caps or any of that stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff.
A lot of universities are right now. I got hit up by a recruiter on LinkedIn today too, saying, "Hey, we're looking for instructional designers." Their dean asked them to reach out, and this was a couple weeks ago. I missed it, so I don't know if it was just they're looking for the spot, but I know a lot of colleges in SUNY in New York are saying don't come back after spring break. Harvard, they're trying to get everybody who was switched over to online, so switching courses onto online as a contingency plan, I could definitely, I think, profit off of what's going on this way, dude, because of if it is quarantine and people going home and staying home and doing work, that's going to create a lot of like entrepreneurs, I think. But I wanted to hear about what Luke's doing, because I know, obviously we talked WrestleMania and fuck them, pal, we're running. But that was last week. Now Italy's quarantined, you know, like.
Well, come on, Italy's sitting, it's a cesspool.
Well,
I mean, come on.
But we're talking WrestleMania to like people from all over the world coming. So is Spain going to quarantine? Is Ireland? Is UK? Like, just because of that, because I'm making it a petri dish. But what was going on with your thing, man?
Luke tells me the show's still on. I was just trying to get him. The thing with Luke putting it up on social media, and this is what I text him. I don't care that you're running the show, but don't throw it out there like, oh, the mayor of New Orleans can shut down the Mardi Gras parade, but we're in Kenner. You can't shut us. I mean, you can't like give the middle finger that we're running it, or try to be counterculture like the old ECW type shit. I care about Luke. The thing that I'm saying is, because he was like, oh, you don't have to come if you don't want to. And he's not being a jerk about it. But I said was, I care about you and what could happen to you, God forbid, if anyone gets this and comes back on you. You can sue anybody for anything. This thing needs to shake out to a certain extent. Imagine if WrestleMania. What was that?
Someone's wife is very loud in the background. Tell her to make those sandwiches in peace and quiet.
There you go. The microphone.
I don't know whose one that was.
That was mine.
Oh,
it's just the whole thing with, you like that little button there, don't you, Sal?
It's amazing.
That's what she said.
The whole thing is, I don't mind. I don't care about going out to the show. And I told him I'm just as much against fear mongering, and this thing is definitely disinfo on one end or another. My whole thing is protecting my friend, God forbid, if somebody claims they got it. And if it's we have older people to come to the shows that still want to come to the wrestling shows, and those are really the ones that are going to be compromised.
When's the date?
Are you one of those older people who still want to go to the wrestling?
I'm the oldest guy on the pod. Like near 50. I ended up getting a lung disease like that only like 1.5% of the population of the world get, and it fucked me up for 4 or 5 years. I was on prednisone. I was all this shit. I went through hell for like 4 years. And this is when I was on TV, trying to wrestle 10, 15 minutes, feeling like I had 100-pound plate on my chest. So I know what it's like to get this shit and how hard it is to shake.
Well, that's because you got to puff, give. Don't have the blunt. How'd you catch it?
Because the company that you want to work for,
I want to work for everybody.
I was over. I'll tell you the story what happened. We were working a tour in London in TV tapings. They had the London Marathon. So the bus from the airport to wherever the hotel was, it was 2 miles from the hotel because the bus couldn't get through the marathon. They dropped us off in a month. So I walked 2 miles trying to find a hotel, sleep in a hotel, wrestle, hop right back on a plane. Thought I had a regular upper respiratory infection. 6 months later, man, I was like, I'm dying. I don't know what to do. I couldn't do 5 minutes of cardio.
That's like hell
without
for you.
Getting off.
No, I'm saying it's like hell for you not to do cardio.
So ended up, I got a lung biopsy. As you saw, I have like kind of a couple holes in my side
I
because my
thought your
lung
wife just
collapsed
stabbed you.
during the biopsy. Well, that's going to be the other side, the clean side over here. But I mean, this is something I'm just happening to anybody, and that's not contagious at all. But when you look at some, like even the common flu kills more people than coronavirus as it stands now. That's a scary thing because we don't know. There's 365 or more strains of flu, and all of them could be equally as deadly. This thing's been around since the 50s, the coronavirus. But let's talk the conspiracy part of it. Like I would say to Luke, hey, this could be fear mongering, but these motherfuckers could kill some people to prove a point and get some kind of control too. That's what I'm more afraid of.
Well, it's no coincidence that this thing started in China, and China has the largest gold reserve and owns the most U.S. debt. So there could be some correlation. And also that video you sent today was phenomenal.
Is that the
With,
MIT scientist?
No, that's the guy I invited on the show.
Okay.
It wasn't a video. That was an article. The video about what was it? The dude smokes a cigar, the black and white video. What's his name?
Deep Thoughts Radio.
Deep Thoughts.
Yeah, Deep Thoughts. And his theory that he heard about this trying to ruin the stock market and try to hit the Federal Reserve so Trump can issue U.S. Treasury notes that's backed by currency that we have hidden in the Fort Knox type scenario places where we haven't even told anybody that we have. So, I mean, it's a little fairy tale, but you know what? If it is, and this way we can oust the Federal Reserve, I think all our problems will be solved. We'll never have to go to war again. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a deep state play to do that. They may, let no good crisis
go unwasted.
Yeah, brother. There's get your money out of it, and that's what they're gonna do here, man. So I think whether it's a run on toilet paper and Lysol and all that, we were looking up the other night, who owns all that? 8 companies own everything that you see in your grocery store. That all goes up to the Koch brothers. What were they invested in? They lost money on it. They want to pull some fucking scheme where they can tank the market, cash in quick beforehand. Who cashed in 2 months ago? That's a big question. Like, let's go back and see who set some shit up to know that this was going to happen, so they'd be in a position to really work the whole system, because otherwise they're not going to do it just as a fuck you to try and tank the system. They're going to get the most out of it,
Absolutely. It's all good. Follow the money.
Yeah.
We'll get the truth.
What about the early things when this was first coming out that people have kind of kicked to the wayside? There was the Harvard professor that was
got arrested.
Yeah, got arrested. He was funneling money back to these underground labs, and one of them was the one there that bought the patents for both different, was it 15 and 18 coronavirus patent? I can't remember the number of the patent, but I remember it was like a 15 and an 18 version of it.
10.
Was it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
And right back to pretty much ground zero. How is this not considered a massive espionage piece, and why isn't that really the focus of this story, and where's the expose on Harvard of who brought this guy in and why? All those little things that are early on that are the real first 48 clues, in my opinion, they just get thrown by the wayside, dude, for toilet paper rush.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have pushed that underneath the carpet. That scenario, that one incident. This guy was getting paid 50 G's a month, dude, for a numerous amount of time, and his 2 lab assistants were 2 Chinese military experts. And 2 Chinese people down at the travel themselves into the country, and they were infected with the coronavirus. So who knows what the hell is going on? But it's 2 things I have to say. One, we always talk about predictive programming. How about those 2 novels in the 80s?
Yeah.
That pinpoint this. And 2, it's kind of weird that we're talking about all these people being sent home and being instructed to work from your house. Make sure you have the strong style internet cable connection so you can work from home.
I don't. It's shitty tonight. It's super shitty.
Well, listen, it is what it is. But um, what I'm saying is this could be a test run for that. Remember we were talking in the past about getting that universal salary income.
Could
UBI,
be, could be.
Universal Basic Income.
Yep.
Universal basic income. Because if we're all home and everyone's getting fired and everyone's just working from their house and companies are going to lose money on the stock market and then they have to let go of people so they can keep the bottom line in the black, people are going to sit home. They're all going to be unemployed. This is the best time to say, hey, don't worry. Your boys here at the government, we got you. We're going to pay you guys to stay home. And then boom, there you go. Just an idea.
No, you're not far off. Sorry, I'm just trying to download these pictures so I can show those two passages from End of Days. And
well, I was gonna say too that
Vinny Paz End of Days.
there's some positives that can come out of this.
It happened last night.
Because
Bruce,
we opened down right.
It happened.
We opened down rightfully so. What's that?
It happened last night. Bruce died during Master Shoot Theater.
He came back as a ghost.
Oh wow!
You can't get rid of him.
Nope.
No, what I was saying was that we always talk about this Christian work ethic type stuff where you got to put in 40 and 60 and 80 hours a week and work inefficiently in an office in a cubicle and technology and all these things that exist. For example, the owners meeting for the NFL. They all have to meet in Florida to talk about this. They can't be on Zoom like we are or Skype. No, they go down there to Florida to get drunk, bang hookers, do whatever.
Yeah.
They need
Can't
to get away.
Peach on fucking Skype.
It's very ineffective to do business that way, and it's very ineffective to actually work. There's more people saying the less hours people work, the more productive they are. So this telecommuting thing. Now, I have no doubt after it's over, everybody's going to make everybody go back to being underneath a corporate thumb or whatever. Yeah. But this could be, once again, like Papanon said, a test run for a new age of doing business, of employment, of entrepreneurship. There could be a positive that comes out of this negative. The other thing, I talked to my cousin today, who's my financial guy. I wanted to get his insight before the show. And he said something really, he's like, yeah, it's bad and it's scary, but the fear mongering, the speculation, the toilet paper stuff, the people's reaction makes everything a million times worse than any coronavirus. The thing he said was, financially with the economy, every country is dumping their money into the U.S. because we have the most stable infrastructure, the most stable economy, stable military, everything. It might not be 100% stable, but it is the most out of just about any player. You got Russia and Saudi Arabia doing a little measuring contest. That's why Saudi ramped up the production, and now gas is under $2, at least where I live. So that's something. They're doing that to fuck Russia. And that can also be a play, because I asked him, I go, could that be a play that Trump's doing with this treasury note type thing? And he was like, well, I hadn't heard of that, but he goes, that could make sense because it causes a little bit of pain, but now you're not getting killed at the pump either. There could be a lot of, we always talk about the long game and this Q shit, but this is what I see as maybe the best example out of anybody who's tried to push that 4D chess thing that Trump does. It could be this, because everybody's distracted by this while you're trying to take the economy back. That's what I could hope for. I don't know if that's it.
You weaken it enough so that you can do it, and then you have the solution. I don't know. I just don't put that by them. Maybe. I'm going to bring this back up. I had you over. That's great information as well, Stevie, to not gloss over. All that is like, could be broken down into an hour show unto itself.
And he told me I had enough down payment to buy that house away from all these fucking morons too.
Okay, good. So we can get we can.
Oh, the haunted house. I brought it up to him already.
Good. Is he in? He's going to move in?
The whole conspiracy.
Dean Koontz, The Eyes of Darkness.
What did you call him?
Dean Koontz. That's CUNTC. This passage, I believe this was 1985. This might have been published. Li Chen defect to the U.S. carrying a diskette record of China's most important and dangerous new biological weapon in a decade. They called the stuff Wuhan 400 because it was developed at the rDNA labs outside of the city of Wuhan, and it was the 400th viable strain of a man-made microorganism. And then there's another passage. It says, in around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. Among most of, that's circled there, the illness itself will be the fact that it will is sudden and quick. So put it there. And then there's another passage, and Sylvia Brown's End of Days, who some people believe she's a psychic, if you're into it. Says, in around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. Almost more baffling than the illness itself will be the fact that it will suddenly vanish as quickly as it arrived, attack again years later, and then disappear completely. So, there's very strange early predictive programming where they're calling out straight up Wuhan and the numbers, and this has had to have been in play for years and years and years. But I'm going to go to you, Sal, who has said in multiple times in the past that authors and artists, you believe, do have some type of conduit into seeing the future. Or is this CIA Operation Mockingbird where this stuff has been in plan for a long time? Go ahead.
Something like this. This is something more. Again, this seems to be something that it's a very real thing. It's, regardless of the severity, regardless of the intensity of it, or whatever you want to call it, this is extremely, extremely useful, powerful tool, and it's being used at a great, with what's the word I'm looking for?
Sarsaparilla.
That's the word. It's being used with great sarsaparilla. It is something like. Honestly, you're not going to stop all of this. It literally could be just a simple cold, and the minute you get your cold, you now have the disease. You know what I mean? So no matter what you tell people, no matter what truth you give them, no matter how you say it's this, that, the other thing, they already have it in their head. This is the apocalyptic end of times, wipe out your mom and your dad and your kids, and leave you to suffer.
Is it really though? Because people aren't dying, bleeding from the mouth, shitting blood out of their asshole. But like, here's what I saw the other day. You saw this. You saw this. It's the excuse to lock people up into a police state. You saw the video from China yesterday where they're like, the dude's running on the subway, and here comes, I don't know, half a dozen,
boom,
8
bam,
they beat the shit out of him. But like, then here comes 20 like fully, SWAT geared out motherfuckers to run down one guy because they got who knows, some no-knock warrant or whatever, and he escaped down the back alley and it was off like Bruce Lee, bro. But like, that's what's more a bigger excuse. This allows them to do that kind of shit.
No matter what this is, even if, okay, so think about this. If this was the super deadly thing that can just wipe you out, but it starts off just as a cold. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's, China, how many, let's look at China. How many people has it killed in China? 1% of their population? Maybe.
I mean, those numbers aren't, some people have said 3,000, some people have said 150,000.
Okay, 150,000 still. Is that 1% of their population?
No.
Not even.
Who cares? Right. This is not a pandemic.
He's like, 150,000 dead, who cares?
Well, it sounds like I'm trying to make a joke, but honestly, you want to put it up next to other shit. Who cares? Like, these people, tons of people die way more people die from way more mundane shit.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure, I wasn't talking.
When you're done.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying, man.
Wow.
No, it's just the fact of this is the new buzz. We went through the thing. GGP sent us the thing. It started in 2000. Bug was going to kill us, and then SARS was going to kill us, and all these different things. So this is the new fucking the new weapon. This is the new apocalypse. So are you gonna, we're gonna have to sit through it. And yeah, they are gonna start infringing on a lot of shit because now people have to work from home, or you're gonna get in trouble if you show up here. You can't do this. And then you're gonna get the boat rockers. You're gonna get the Luke Hawes who are like, no, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna stand up and throw up the middle finger in the eye of the storm on this one. So you know what I mean? Like, if it goes bad for him, nobody cares. If it goes good for him, no one's going to care. It's not going to change anybody's opinion except wrestling fans, and most of them are fucking immune to this mess anyway.
Yeah, I mean, until the real numbers come out or anything here, it's all fear porn from the media. And what I want to see is a blowback where the media is held accountable for this, for perpetuating it, ruining markets, and be brought up on charges and have to pay restitution for the damage they're creating with the fear porn that they're putting out there to try and get ratings, man. Like, they switched from impeachment to this. Now they need to be held culpable for the amount of money that it's tanked in the country based on what they've tried to do here, when there's no real statistics and nothing to, like, truly fear. Everything getting canceled, though. WrestleMania, Stevie, you think it's going to go or no?
Oh, I'm not sure, man. Tampa, international travel. I mean, this is the recipe that they have in place right now. Even March Madness, even the NBA games are mostly domestic travel people or local people, and they said that what's the cap? I think the San Jose Sharks said, or the Santa Clara, the town, because they canceled or they're playing the game in front of no fans, that now they are saying you're not allowed to have a gathering of more than 1,000 people anywhere in Santa Clara. And I think that's kind of, so you can run TV tapings of wrestling all day long.
Nice. Thank you.
But I think really, like, I still go into that thing, like, this is going to be something that's contagious for, they say, up to 72 hours. And obviously one person gives it to another, 2, 4, 8, doubles, and just keeps growing. So why these indiscriminate numbers? Like, wouldn't it be 0? Like, get 0, and let's let the thing run its course. Even if you have 10 basketball players on the court and then 5 on each bench and a coach and the essential personnel, all you need is one person to be contagious, and that's it. So that's what lends me to raise a huge red flag of, okay, you're trying to make it look like you don't want to make your money, but you're still making your money, and you're hoping that the ratings go up because everyone is quarantined to their homes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to watch TV. So Netflix is probably like, we're going to have people subscribing, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all these different things, pay-per-views, all this stuff. They probably are already looking at it like, we can maybe make money on the back end on this.
GGP.
Follow the money, right, GGP?
You got to say, GGP, you had a point you wanted to make. Are we going to do Lysol to the eye spot? Is that going to be the new thing?
Can I talk now, Sal? Is that okay?
Sure, I'm not talking anymore.
Okay, good. First things first, perception's reality. That's the golden rule with this whole scenario. Second thing, I am convinced now that these videos that we saw from China were all BS work videos just to increase the scare of this virus. Most people are going to say, oh, no, this is going to appeal to the conspiracy guys and the free thinkers. Well, now the conspiracy guys and the free thinkers, the majority of them, are sitting underneath their desk worried about toilet paper and water. So they basically hit that demographic. I think it was a psyop done on purpose to make us feel like a numerous amount of people died. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, and they're still, lying about the numbers. But there's a good chance that adds to this scenario and it intensifies it and magnifies it even more. And that's the grand scheme of it all. Get everybody afraid to go outside, get everybody afraid to do anything. And it's ridiculous because more people die of heart disease, more people die of the flu, more people die watching Raw every Monday night than this virus. And granted, allegedly this virus has only been out for a month now, but still, regardless, no one's up in arms. Every 48 seconds, someone dies of heart disease. That I think that's the statistics. If that's the case, how come they're trying to fight that? Why not? You know what I mean? Because it's all nonsense.
I want to cut you off real quick about the subway footage that we talked about.
Yeah.
I remember reading the comments that this was footage from at least 6 months ago during the protests in China.
Gimmick, yeah, right.
So they just
propaganda
repurposed
to
that
put
video.
it out. Sure.
Yeah.
And I see the lady get taken off the street, put in the back of the truck like in a pig pen. But we also saw the dude who was on WhatsApp and talked some shit about a traffic stop. And remember, they had his ass fucking locked up 6 ways to Sunday saying, "I'm sorry, uncle. I'll lick your balls if you want me to." You know?
Supposedly, one of the theories is that China let this virus get out so they can stop the protests from, Hong Kong?
It makes sense. I mean, there's so many pieces of Agenda 21, the FEMA capstones, everything we've all talked about to put into a world play, and then they just need to follow suit. Tip one domino. Italy did it. Well, we're doing it. This corporation did it. Well, my corporation's doing it. This sporting event did it. Well, fuck it. We got to do it. Nerds in video games, Asians everywhere. Fuck it. Shut it down. We're not doing that. Like, like that's just how it all falls down, to the point that it gets down to your high school level because it comes trendy in pop culture. But the one thing I do love about this is that it gives me new names for my daughters. I've already got Zika, I've got Ebola and SARS, 3 beautiful daughters, and now I get to add Corona to the list of the next born. So I'm very excited they keep giving me these wonderful names. So one thing as we switch out here, I wanted to say, I know I don't have a moon camera, but one thing I did kind of capture, and we talked a bit last week about Supermoon, or not Superman, excuse me, about Planet X and the work Sal's been doing to take a look at Anunnaki and, strange different things. And then on coming home from Raw, the moon was crazy on Monday night. Was it super bright where you guys were?
Yeah. The beginning of the week, it was very bright.
Yeah. And it was to the point of like something beyond just how normally I've ever really seen it. Like to achieve that clarity, that brightness, that like white luminescence. To me, Sal, is it getting hit by another dwarf sun to really make it do that? So I picked up my camera and it's just my shitty Android phone, and did the zoom in what I could. It didn't even pick up the face of the moon, and I couldn't see it with my naked eye, but I'm going to bring the picture up here. There's a blue dot above the moon in 3 of the pictures, and it looks very far behind the moon. Dude, we talk Planet X. It's got the dwarf suns. It's got the moons orbiting, and one of them is supposedly a blue ice moon. I'm wondering if this is it. I sent it to Crow 777. I don't know, dude. All I know is I caught something because it has a little bit of its own aura around it. That's why it doesn't make me think it's some kind of lens flare, which you guys can see up here. So go ahead, Sally.
No, I sent to you guys the picture I took from my phone. I put it in the chat. Again, could not get a real close up on my camera phone, but just the level. Now, what did they call the